Okay, we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the Early Bird Special with your hosts, Carole Montgomery and Julia Scotti. Hi. Hi, everyone. It's Carole Montgomery. So you have to bear with us because both Julia and I are middle-aged women, and we're trying to figure out how to do this. I don't have a intro yet, but we will. And we're gonna take it a little bit further. The interstitials you have seen on the two Showtime specials where I interviewed the gals talking about comedy and what it's like to be a woman and all that good stuff. So, and I couldn't think of anybody better to be my co-host than the unbelievably fabulous and talented Julia Scotti. So let's bring her out. How about a hand for Julia Scotti, huh?
Oh, yay. Well, hey, hi. I'm protected.
You're protected. I
protected.
have a box of gloves if you'd like some.
What am I, Howie Mandel?
I literally, okay, you can take that off
I
now,
can take it
Missy.
off. I'm sweating through the nose here. All right.
So one of my neighbors, I was literally in the bed in the basement doing laundry, and they said, "Hey, do you need gloves?" And I thought, sure, thinking I was going to get like a couple of gloves. Gave me a box of gloves. It was like, this is better than cocaine.
Wow. I don't have any gloves. I just keep. They got these little rags in the supermarket for. That's the only place I go, and you can wipe your hands. So I just steal the whole container
Good
and
girl.
take them home with me.
Good girl.
I got to tell you before we start. I got my Waka hat. There we go.
Oh, look at that.
No, there's a problem with it. I have an unusually large head. So you see, you look cute. You look adorable in your hat. But watch what happens when I put mine on. Look. It's like a yarmulke with a brim.
Oh my God. Well, I will have to make a super extra. How big is your fucking head?
It's never been measured by scientific instruments, but it's large. It's a science project. I don't know why it's so big. It could explain why my mother hated me so much because I really hurt her coming out.
That could probably. Oh, we have people saying hi. Look at that.
Who's on the show?
Well, let me figure. Hold on, I have to figure out how to do that part. Are you kidding me?
Alrighty.
Let me take. We have Lillian saying hey, and Veronica Gingles, and Mary Beth, and Joanne Lotsky. We have a lot of people. Hi, everybody. We can't post it's saying something that we can't post comments to the destinations. So I'll just have to read them. So we decided to give our fans, because you and I had a conversation a couple of days ago about the people doing virtual comedy.
Yeah.
And I just can't do it. I just can't.
It's just the most impossible thing to do, because, and here it proves why we need audiences as much as we do, because we feed off of their reaction. By the way, cheap product placements all through the show. So the folks at Gold Bond. Anyway,
hold on. I'll do shop lights. That's all I drink is fucking flavored.
Oh, I got my coffee in case I start choking on you.
Yeah, so
another show. I can. Oh shit! No. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just. Somebody just said. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, damn it! The comedy special was hilarious. So thank you for that. And Larry Patlack just said, I just watched all your AGT performances and died of laughter. Thank God it was from laughter and not COVID, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Jeez, I'm sorry. I almost died.
But we're getting a lot of nice comments, which is great.
Oh, that's it. We have wonderful. I don't know about your fans, but my fans are just like the best fans on the universe, too.
Well, I have like 3.
No, you don't.
I have like 3 fans. I actually have one. I actually have a lovely couple from Connecticut who come to see me all the time whenever I'm up in Connecticut. But so that's a lot of fun. So it's nice. It's nice that everyone, is so friendly and wonderful.
It is, and I love my fans, and they, when they come out to the shows, it's even better. And I feel bad sometimes because I can't remember everybody's face and name, And excuse me, did you see that? I had a little gas. That's live television, folks. That came right up out of
Wow,
nowhere.
and I can smell it from here. Wow.
Yeah, you want to borrow my mask?
I have so many masks. I have masks. Look, I have masks.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have gloves. I have everything. I have my son's. I don't even know why this is still
What
here.
is that?
It's a sweatband
Oh,
from Captain America because we've been cleaning out my son moved out again for I don't know how many times, but so we finally cleared out his room and we're finding all this crap of his. You know, he's only 28. So anyway, you know, I wanted to let the audience know, you know, you and I have been friends for a very long time.
very long.
A very long time. and I loved when we did the interview at the special. We got to talk a little bit about comedy, but unfortunately what happens when you do TV, as you know, they edit and they, you know, and everything had to be clips. But we came up with you came up with some great questions. So the first one I think is a good one. We can even throw this out to the audience.
Oh, yeah. I want to know.
Who do you think is hotter? Andrew Cuomo or Chris Cuomo?
Who's the hotter Cuomo?
Who's the hotter Cuomo? What do you think?
For me?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Andrew's nice. I mean, Chris is nice to look at. You know, if I wanted him at my poolside in a Speedo serving me drinks, then maybe him. But
right.
Andrew, I would just like to cuddle up with and he makes me feel better. Like I'm not so scared anymore.
Yeah.
I could even call him Daddy. I might even call him Daddy.
Well, so far, wow, look at this. So far, we have 3 people saying Chris Cuomo. And you see, and I am with you, Julia. I think Andrew. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know if it's that somebody just said Perry Como.
Perry Como.
I don't. There's something underlying about him, about Andrew, that like that like he's much sexier to me than Chris.
Yeah. Sexy is the word. I mean, you know, I think with Chris, sex would be just like him, just, you know, wanting to swing from chandeliers and do push-ups on you and chin-ups and stuff. And I mean, I want to take it nice and slow, Andrew. Just,
yeah.
read me a story.
Well, when he did when he was talking a couple of days ago, because after the Trump had called him out on something, and he goes, "I'm not going to fight with the president. I'm not going to fight." And I thought, you can fight with me anytime.
See, and I don't feel that way about my own governor, Phil Murphy.
He's not.
I look at him, and it's like he's like Ed from Green Acres. He's nice. He's a good guy. I like, but there's nothing. I'm sorry, Phil. There's just nothing.
Yeah. No, Phil is nothing.
No.
Yeah, and somebody just wrote Mario Cuomo is his choice.
You know what? I thought Mario Cuomo. I mean, he's not so sexy now because he's got worms coming out of his eyes. But I mean, when he was alive, he was a sexy guy.
He was a sexy guy. And do you know that Andrew Cuomo was married to a Kennedy? Did you know that? I know. I looked it up. He was married to one of Robert Kennedy's daughters, but they got divorced.
Who wasn't?
That's true. That's true. That's true. So I have to, for the next time when we do, somebody said I'll take either, not fussy. I could be the creamy filling with both.
Who was that?
That was Marie Francis.
I don't know who that is.
Well, now you know.
Didn't she sing with Count Basie's band in the 40s, Marie Francis? She was the vocalist. No, wow. I'm making that up.
Wow. Yeah, now you're making me feel like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
No.
So there she goes. She needs, please go. Who is the maker of Gold Bond? Is it P&G?
It's made by the Chatham Company. Chatham. Which is what we're doing. We're chatting them up. See what they did there? All right.
Yes. So let's talk about, I want to know about your first time on stage.
Wow, I've told this. I never really told the complete story, but most people, if you've ever seen an interview with me, know that my first night was in a Chinese restaurant in Paramus, New Jersey, called the Jade Fountain. The very first time I stepped on stage. But what they didn't know is that I had no act, as none of us do, and I thought I was going to be the next Lenny Bruce, right?
Of course.
So I wrote this act where I got dressed up as Moses. And I had cardboard 10 Commandments like Charlton Heston had, in the movie. And I came from the back of the room. I had a gray wig on, and I very silently I was blessing people as I was going through
Oh,
the crowd.
wow.
And I was doing a commercial for 10 Commandments hair coloring for men. It all led up to this one stupid joke.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And that's how it all began.
Wow.
And you? And you?
Well, I have a question though about, so
Oh, sure.
did you get laughs?
I did, and I followed it with a joke. At that time, 3 Mile Island was big. I had filled a balloon with Jack Johnson's baby powder,
Uh-huh.
and I blew it up and then held a match under it, and then showing the future of nuclear energy in this country. I
Wow.
really, and I didn't do
Wow.
drugs. I really didn't do drugs, and yet I thought that was funny.
Wow.
I know.
Well, I don't remember. Well, okay, my first time that I decided when I was about, it was 1979. I was doing summer stock. I decided I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, and I thought I wanted to be in the theater. So I was so they paid, I forget what it was. They paid for you to go up to this small college and do summer stock. And I was a techie. I did all kinds of like painting the stage
Right.
and making the sets and everything. And there was the people that I was hanging out with, I would do, we'd joke, and I'd make, I'd go back and forth, and they were like, you should do stand-up comedy. Now we're talking 79. So there was, as you know, but the audience may not know, there was
Nothing.
There was nothing, and they were like, well, you have to do a monologue. And so I'm like, what do I get? A book, like an acting monologue? And so one of my friends, his name is Ed Sherrier, he might be even watching. He said to me, I'll help you write some jokes. And we were having a Christmas in July like party just for the crew, which is about 15 people. And they made me stand up and do 5 minutes. I don't remember what I said. I don't remember it, but that rush. And when I got back from summer stock, I went to Pips in September of 79, and I never looked back.
Oh, Pips, oh, Maron. If we should tell the audience if they don't know about Pips. Pips was in Sheepshead Bay,
Yes.
And it was the home of. I mean, anybody in comedy started out at Pips for some reason,
right?
And it was the most difficult club I've ever worked in.
Oh yeah.
But I got my chops. I got my comedy chops toughened up there. Can I tell a quick story?
Of course.
Oh yeah, why the fuck not? I can tell my story. Huh?
It's our show.
Yeah, it is our show. Wait, just a quick word from. Oh wait, I lost my thing. Okay, there it is. Oh, so I'm on stage and I'm dying. I had been working Pips for a while, and I'm just going up and I'm dying. And you used to get on this stage and people just go, "Fuck you, get up!" A bunch of ladies in the front row just started ragging on me, just saying awful things to me. And I was a very sensitive person. But I found I couldn't take it anymore. And I said,
wow.
I said, I'd like to welcome the ladies from the Center for Non-Orgasmic Women. And I got a laugh. And from that it was like that scene in Taxi where Jim takes drugs for the first time and he just, it was like that. I was off and running. So.
Yeah, I mean, Pips was, I started with Richie Jenny. And Andrew Dice Clay, but he was Andrew Silverstein then.
Yeah.
And I tell the story all the time. I told it on another podcast that Andrew Silverstein was one of the best impressionists ever.
I've heard that.
Yeah, and so his Dice came from him doing Fonzie.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yes, but he does the best. And someday I will meet up with him again and say, I've been telling everybody, you do the best Jerry Lewis. You have to do Jerry Lewis.
I can see that.
Yeah, he does a great Jerry Lewis. And
wait,
so
which Jerry does he do? Does he do all the obnoxious shit? The early Jerry. Okay.
Yeah. I think you know what? He might do both. Because I want to say that the one from the Nutty Professor, when he turns into the suave guy, I think he did both of them. But I just remember it was amazing. But the thing about Pips that I used to always say is that especially, that the men hated me because they all wanted me to get off stage and make them sauce.
Is that right? Oh, the audience men. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very Italian.
Very Italian. But, and speaking about that, so when Catch a Rising Star was also very Italian. And there's a great story about, I think it was Piscopo,
Yeah, I know that. You
You
want to
know the
tell that
story?
story?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
So,
You tell it. I'm not telling it.
no,
My God, look
basically,
at the size of my head in this thing. I'm backing up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
basically Episcopo was giving shit to somebody in the front row, and the guy had a jacket on, and he kept giving him shit, and finally the guy just took his pulled his jacket open and had a gun, and Episcopo was like, all right, no more, don't have to talk to you anymore. So yeah, see, we have all this great
I heard
stories.
they had a talk with him after that happened.
I actually heard that. Well, I'm sure they had a lot of talks with a lot of
Well,
people.
this was a talk, like down in the basement kind of talk, you know.
Oh, okay. Because I remember there was what was his name? Tim Thomerson.
Oh, I remember him, yeah.
Okay, and so I guess that Robin Williams, when he was starting out, kind of maybe borrowed some people's material. And I guess that he went after Robin, and I guess Robin was being taken care of by certain people, and he had the same talk that Joe had.
Oh,
We're
I did
talking
not
in
know
code
that.
now. We're talking in
I
code now.
didn't know that. I did not know
Nobody.
Robin was connected. That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So I'm gonna now hold on. I'm doing something here, so I want them to
Is anybody
see.
watching us?
Yeah, we've got like 75 people watching.
Wow. Hi,
I know.
75 people.
Hi, 75 people. Okay,
And
let's
be sure to use Gold Bond.
So now I'm going to go over to the comments and see if anybody wants to ask a question.
Okay.
So ask a question.
But
okay. Bruce Gilbert says you look good, and glad to hear you're safe and well.
Was he talking to you or me?
He's talking to you. He's saying, "Hi, Julia."
Hi, Bruce. How are you? Thank you. Yeah, I assume you look well too, and I'm glad you're doing okay. How's that boil you had? You had that sore on your lip. No, I'm just kidding.
So, okay, nobody's asking any questions. So we'll continue with our fabulous. So, you send me an idea for a question, but you have to say it the right way, because when I read that question, I was walking in the park with my husband.
One? The one about the money?
Yeah, the money. And it made me laugh so hard. And then I told it to my husband, Todd, and he laughed because he remembers. So please go ahead.
Okay. When you first start out, you work for Bupkis. You get like, drive 200 miles and and back then they didn't pay anything either. So you get like maybe $100 or something.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
And although at that time it was a lot of money when we were driving, we were used to getting $5 at the Improv, but so you'd be driving up there 4 hours upstate New York for $100 maybe. But once you start calculating what your hourly rate is, by the time you get up there, do the show, and come back, it works out. Literally, I'm not kidding. One gig worked out to like $2 an hour.
Wow. 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 Well, yeah, because back then, $100 was like so much money.
Oh, yeah.
If you were I used to, when I first passed to Catch a Rising Star, I used to live on the Upper West Side, and so I would take the 79th Street bus, cross town to Catch, and do my late night spot, get the $5, and take the bus back because I wanted to be able to say I had like $3 left because I actually got paid as a comedian. Okay, we did. Yeah. So there's a question from Veronica Gingles. Do you know Veronica?
I just met her. She just became a Facebook friend last week.
Well, she wants to know if you've ever had an issue with discrimination because you're a trans comedian.
I am? Oh, yes.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
It's an interesting question because I had a career before I transitioned, and I dropped out, and I was out for 10 years. I had more of an issue when I came back. And I don't know that it was so much because I was trans, although there was one person. I think it was more ageist, and they weren't sure that I could still be funny, at being trans. I guess that's sort of transphobia. Yeah. So the answer to your question, yes. And there's probably stuff I didn't even know about that nobody told me,
Yeah.
But joke's on them.
But also the thing that I always talk about ageism, I think, and that's one of the things I tried to do with the specials is that, you've heard me say this. If I had to choose between sexism or ageism, I'd take a slap on the ass any time because it meant that somebody noticed me.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like that to me, the ageism still blows me away because that's across the board. That's men and women. Do you know? Like it's so mind blowing that you haven't changed at all, but yet nobody even looks at you anymore.
Right. Well, can I say something about you about with the transphobia, and this will answer that question Veronica asked. When Carol asked me to do Funny Women of a Certain Age, I was really concerned because I think I brought it up to her. I said, look, I don't want to cause any kind of grief, from cis females saying, well, why are you putting her on the show? And and to your credit, you just said, fuck them.
Well,
She's like funny as funny.
right.
And it really was so validating and so warm and so welcoming. And so I just want people to know that's the kind of person you are. So,
Oh, don't tell them that. Everyone
oh,
thinks,
stop.
stop it. But funny is funny. I mean, I know it really, what's interesting about all of this, whether or not you're cis or trans, there's always somebody that's going to be pissed off about something.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
just like, you know what? If this is really all you've got, then sorry. You know what I mean? Like, you just keep going. Funny is funny.
You put your head down, one foot in front of the other.
Yes.
And, I've said that I'll tell that to any comic, whether they're trans or just starting out or whatever.
Right.
When it gets this pandemic thing is really going to cull our herd. A lot of people are going to drop out and stand up because of this thing too.
Yeah.
Um, and you and I are old enough to remember all of the things that have happened since when we started doing comedy. That the recessions and and the bombings and blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah, and we
Yeah.
still hung in there. Clubs closing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Okay, we have another question. Someone wants to know when the documentary is coming out.
Oh, good question. Is that Susan that put that up?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Hold on, I'm trying to go backwards. Let me see if I can get backwards. I can't figure it out. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. Let me tell you for those of you who don't know, for the last 5 years, there's been a documentary in the works by a woman named Susan Sandler. She is a professor at NYU, and she also wrote the movie Crossing Delancey, and she's been working on it for 5 years. It's called Julia Scotti Funny That Way. And it's done as far now. The problem is all of the film festivals are being canceled, and we're trying to, figure out where everybody's going with these films. So as soon as this is over and festivals start coming back, believe me, when it starts airing or if it's premiering somewhere, you'll know. I'm not going to shut up about it. So and it's really good. I've seen it.
So have I. I had a special.
Did you really? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I had a special screening for me, and it was wonderful. It was, and it's not only is it funny, of course, but it's very heartwarming and it's very touching, and I teared up a couple of times.
Me too, and I was there. Honest to God, I mean, I'm not. I watched a couple of things, and I just was like, all right, So. Yeah. Look for it in a theater near you.
I think, and that's a good question in general with this, because I know Susan and I have actually talked about the film and everything, and I think that everybody is still doing a kind of wait and see, like what's going to happen, as far as because like they canceled Pride, the Pride Parade here in New York and the Puerto Rican Day Parade, but I understand that, I really do, because all of those things, all that's. Just even going down the street, my favorite thing in the summertime was seeing the street fairs. They block it off, and there's hundreds and thousands of people. We never think of what's around us, and we have to now figure out how we're going to be able to do that safely. So I think it will come. I think your documentary will come out when it's supposed to come out. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I believe too. Like I did a short film too, a couple. I
remember
this shit. Do you remember when I did that? And I just saw a clip of it, and believe it or not, I actually look like I know what the hell I'm doing up there. But the finished film will be done, I think, in May. It was supposed to have been done in April and premiered. It was a student film, but nevertheless, and it's I haven't seen it. I've been waiting. Now I got to wait till September. They tell me to see it.
Yeah, but a lot of the, like from what I'm taught, with people I'm taught, like we're doing this show, like we're doing a virtual show, and I think that a lot. I don't know where this lands yet. Like as far as like for the films, that's an easier way to do it. There, if the documentary can get, let's say, on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu, and the same thing for the short film, you can the thing that everyone wants to know about, of course, is the live. What's going to happen to comedy?
Well, that's our lifeblood. I mean, I was thinking about this the other night because I knew we were going to talk about this. After 9/11, when that happened, how many of us said, "Oh my God, we'll never. This is the end of the country. It's the end of the world. It's going to take years and years and years to come back." But we did come back, and we will come back from this too. As a performer, we need to be up on a stage.
Right.
It's our lifeblood. It's also our livelihood. So, I dread the thought of Georgia being the only place I'm going to be able to work.
Well, there won't be any comedians down there because they'll all be dead.
That's true, and so they don't like my kind down there anyway. So.
Yeah. Before the show air, we did this. There was a whole thing. Did you see about the Las Vegas mayor?
Which part? I saw she wants to open it up again, right? Does she?
Yeah. She wants to open it up again, and it's like, listen, I was in Vegas for 10 years. You can't. You just, even if when you're sitting at a machine, they don't clean. This is the thing. I think the big lesson is how much of pigs human beings are. Do you know what I mean? Like, because when you go to like now when I go to Whole Foods or something and I go down, there's somebody at the end of the escalator wiping down the magazine.
Yeah.
Not the magazine. The wagon.
Yeah.
And, think about that. Like when you're at a casino and you're playing those machines, you're doing this, you're tapping the same, then people are coughing. They're like my son, as much as he's I love him to death, but he's a little bit of a germaphobe. He is probably thinking to himself, I told you, because he would come home from the gym and wipe down his phone. And I'm like, what are you doing that for? He goes, Mom. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I felt about Howie Mandel at AGT, because he was, he's a German, but now he's like friggin' Nostradamus, because look at what he's.
Yeah, he's absolutely.
He was way ahead of his time.
Yeah. So I do think we'll come back. I don't think we're coming back as fast as we think we're coming back, but I do think put it this way, and I really do believe this, when we are able to be together all like in groups, comedy, remember the boom in the 90s? That's going to seem like it was nothing, because this is going to take when we can congregate again, because I think people need comedy.
I hope you're right. I mean, I know they need it. I just don't know if they're, I hope that they hope that they don't live in fear is what I hope.
Right. Well, yeah, but in the end you have to hope that people will venture out. I mean, there's a really good chance the first few shows we do, when we go back to it, people will be wearing masks.
I agree. I don't mind that. I mean, I keep thinking, like Gallagher's going to fill a watermelon full of hand sanitizer, when he smashes everybody. That's
a brilliant idea. Wait a minute. Is
Gallagher alive?
I was going to say, is he alive?
I hope so, because I really like that joke. For the purpose of this joke, let's say Gallagher's still alive.
Well, I know that he had a
brother,
a brother, so maybe Gallagher the brother can do this.
Gallagher the Lesser.
So everyone is saying, oh my God, we need comedy. That was from Joanne Adamschick. And Ken Kissel says, we need comedy. It's the best medicine. And Rowan Caper says, we need comedians now more than ever. This is great. So someone, Jean Ann Uvino says, I can't wait to see Julia Scotti again. I will be there.
Aw.
See, isn't that nice?
I said I got the best fans on the planet. I really do.
These are all your fans. Not one of my fans has responded.
Not even the people from Connecticut?
No, I'm very upset. I'm like, really?
I had a question for you.
Okay.
Are they going to be able to see this after we're off?
I get to download it, and then I'll send you a copy, and then you can put it back up there and everything.
Good.
Well, because we want to do this for the people who are watching. we want to do this every week. Like next week, Julia is my fabulous co-host, and next week it'll be me and Julia and the fabulous Leanne Lord, and I somehow figure out how we all get on here. I guess I still don't know what the fuck.
And Franklin Roosevelt will be on in a couple of weeks.
Franklin Roosevelt will be on the cover. It's both of you. Please come to Canada. We would love to come to Canada.
Yeah,
we would love to. Hopefully, when the big theaters get to be opened again, we're going to be doing a big tour. So that's the big.
Well, right now we're still scheduled to go to Dallas, right?
Yes, in July. So let's hope that Georgia doesn't knock that the fuck out. So did you say you were going to ask me a question, or did you ask me the question?
No, I just wanted to know if they'd be able to see this. I think that's what I was going to ask.
See, this is why this show needs to be on a network, because this is.
All right. Today's show is brought to you by pencils. They're right for your life.
Two old women who don't know what the hell is going on.
You want a breath saver?
Oh no, thanks. That's very nice of you. So listen, we're already at a half an hour, but I think we should talk a little more. Does everyone want us to talk a little more? Somebody say something. Lisa Pelusa says we need puppets.
Pelusa! Puppets. I got a puppet for you right here. Pelusa.
Yeah, you tell. Yeah, Pelusa.
She's down in Florida now. She lives with the Florida. She's not even old enough to live there.
Marie Francis wants you to come to Gainesville, Florida. And Detroit, and Virginia Patrick says Detroit, Michigan.
I was supposed to be in Detroit for Pride this year with Suzanne
Westenhofer,
thank you.
Wow, see, I know.
So yeah, Suzanne and I were there 2 years ago, and we had a blast. And I love Suzanne; she's so sweet.
She's the best.
Funny
she's
very. You gotta have her on too.
I know. Well, people keep asking me about what's going on, and honestly, nobody knows anything. I do know that because literally, remember, as your fans will know that. So we taped the Today Show on Thursday. On Friday, the Today Show aired. On Saturday, our show aired, and it was that was the weekend of the beginning of the quarantine. So the ratings were very good. We don't know the exact numbers because networks never tell you. It doesn't matter if it's Showtime or HBO or Netflix or Hulu. They never tell you but they were very, very, they were very good. So, but right now, nobody's thinking about that. Everyone, I think, is thinking about how are we going to get through this and all still be alive? I've said this before. The goal for Funny Women of a Certain Age was always to showcase, women of a certain age who needed to be seen and the world needed to see them. So I've always kept my fingers crossed that this would become a series. And I know that my producing partner, Dave Goldberg, he's always pushing for that. He's always pushing for it. And hopefully it'll happen.
Can I tell my story about you with my heart?
Oh God! All right.
Oh, well, come on, because we're not going to be on much longer, and I want everybody to know what a mensch you are.
All right.
If you're can you be a menschette?
Yeah, menschette. But let me just tell Lisa Peluso. She's saying, "How old is a certain age?" And we usually it's 50 plus, Lisa, but we have opened up the it to 40 plus because when if you do 50 plus, there's probably about 200 women, but then you open it up to 40 and it probably doubles it. So I'm trying to get every older woman, because 50 really is the cutting point, but women in their 40s are considered invisible now too. So that's why. Okay. So you can can talk. Tell me this. Okay. I'm embarrassed.
So as you know, I was on the second version of Funny Women of a Certain Age, more Funny Women of a Certain Age. I was supposed to have been on the first one because Carole booked me as soon as this got a thing. It was going to be a thing. Well, came December of 2018. I had to have emergency heart surgery, quadruple bypass surgery, and valve replacement. So I couldn't do it. They were taping on January 14th, I think.
Right.
And I said to her from the hospital, I'll be there. I'm going to try to be there. And suffice to say, I got out of a chair and I was gasping for air, so I wasn't doing the damn show. So she says to me, all right, she goes, look, if there's a second one, and at that point you didn't know if there was going to be. If there's a
No.
second one,
Right.
you'll be the first one I book on the show. And true to her word,
No.
I got the call, and I love her for it. And it's thank you for what you do for all the women in comedy. You know,
Well,
and there's a
thank
couple
you.
other people too that you know, a couple other women who are booking women that are, you know, it's great. It's
Yeah.
great. So,
What is her name? I
well,
forget. Who does the Ladies of Laughter?
Peggy Boyce.
Peggy Boyce. And I mean she's been pro women. You know, she doesn't do the, you know, the full, like the over 50. She does a lot of women.
Right.
But and Peggy and I had lunch right after this New Year's, and discussed all the stuff, because we just want to help each other. You know, the problem in this business is, well, thank you, Virginia. She just wrote, Carol, thanks for helping women. Thank you for acknowledging. The problem with TV, and this is something that always drove me crazy, was like the Real Housewives. Women aren't that way. Yes, there are women. Yes, there are the Kardashian type of women. And yes, of course there is. But for the most part, there's room for all of us. I really do believe that. So why not try to help somebody? You know?
It's in comedy, for some reason, you know, you spend your whole career trying to get good at something, learning your art, learning your craft. You know, you hit a certain age and you're in your stride, man. You'd like, if you were an actor, you'd be getting Oscars and Tonys and whatnot, because you finally hit, you know what the hell you're doing up there. But for us, as soon as we hit that age, you know, you're aged out. And I got to tell you, having been in both tribes, you know, and before, I love my women compatriots in comedy. There is a bond that I feel with them that I never felt with the guys. I just never fit in with them, and you all just have made me feel so welcome and so just wonderful. So I thank you for that.
Well, you know, it's funny because it's interesting to be this age and to look back at, because back when, as far as being a woman in comedy, there weren't a lot of us back then.
Mm-hmm.
So anything you'd get, you were like, why did they get it and I didn't get it? You know what I mean? Like, it was that type of thing. But now when I look back at that, it's like, look, I realize that was just being in my 20s and being insecure. Like, why did they get it? Because now if another woman succeeds, I'm thrilled for them, because that means it's opened up the door. And I know, and look, and you know this because of how I opened the special this year. You know, you saw the opening where I said maybe I get a pity puck, but I don't get a pity special. Yeah. And the reason I did that is because for the most part, everyone has been great and supportive. But in every business, you've got the me. Oh, she got lucky, or she did this. Who did she blow? And I'm like, please, the blowing thing. I stopped.
Well, you know, I had to blow everybody on the crew that day. I don't know. I don't.
Well, I told them to ask you. but you know, so that's why I opened with that line, because I wanted people to understand I work my ass off for this, because you know, sometimes I feel like I have the weight of women in comedy on my back at all times, because I'm trying to do this, and then sometimes you get people that are they don't want to see a woman succeed. So, you know,
it's yes. I mean, I felt like that even when I was with the other tribe. If somebody got something, I hated them for it. It's like, you know, and I was just being like a douche, you know. And I'm trying, and I've been there, and every now and then I get that twinge if I see someone. I'm not as douchey as I used to be, but I have my douche moments, you know, and we all do. It's natural, you know, but. Overall, I think we do stick together, and we are. And the fact that we're doing this show, is testament. I don't know, whatever it is, you figure it out. But you know what I'm saying. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I anytime I can help somebody, and listen, I've been burned many times by helping women out that ended up stabbing me in the back. I'll tell you who they are off camera.
I think I know one of them. All right, that's an inside joke, and now everybody's going to ask me who it was.
Yeah, who it was. But so it is always interesting. Speaking of that particular person, because that person was so so uptight about having other women on a show that she ruined it for everyone. So maybe that I should thank her, because the fact that she screwed me all those years ago, maybe that's what brought me to this moment. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Both thank you and fuck you at the same time.
Just hearing you say "fuck you" makes me so happy. It just
well, there's no place in the world where I won't say "fuck you." I said it on national television. Why
I know
not
you
say it
did.
here?
I know you did. Which was, I watched that episode and I laughed my ass off. And so when we were for the first time when we were casting, and I said to Dave, I said, you need to watch this woman. And I showed him the clip of you on AGT, and he was like, yes. Like he didn't even like AGT did such a great thing for you. You know what I mean?
It changed my life. I never expected to win. I knew I wasn't going to win. I actually was hoping to go to the semis, and then I would have been. I was happy with the quarters. Listen.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's more gas. Did you see that?
Yes.
But yes, it was a life-changing event. It set a whole lot of things in motion for me. I'll never, I owe them everything. So.
Yeah, and but it's nice, and the way that you feel about AGT is how I feel about Showtime, because they actually got it. They got it literally. We went in and met with them. I think even before. Excuse me, the seltzer.
Hey, you got the gas. Yeah, okay.
The seltzer just came up. When we went in to meet with them, I think we went in, and I want to say it was the beginning of December, end of November, and he got it right away. The Showtime exec, he got it immediately, and that's huge. That because in this day and age, and I don't know if it has. I don't know why all of a sudden they went, oh yeah, why hasn't anybody ever put old women on TV?
I think we're coming into our own, just women in general, but older women. Yeah. But look at even Sirius now has an all-female channel.
I know, and we're trying.
Which is great.
Yeah, and we're trying to keep it going. So anyone who's listening, go out and push. She's so funny.
105 on Sirius.
But I have to tell you, talking about what happened with you with the heart thing. So what Julia didn't tell you is that she was doing it up until a week before the show. Oops, you forgot that little fucking part.
Well, I really believed I could do it. I had people go, "Are you crazy?" I go, "No." Like Tom, my manager, he's like, "Are you sure?" I go, I'm gonna. Like I was like friggin' Babe Ruth at the Yankee Stadium when he was dying.
So when we had to call Chris to let him know that you were not able to do it, and we needed to get a replacement, we're on the phone with him, and you could just tell he was just like, ugh. And I said, listen, it's your fucking fault, casting old women in a show, because you don't know if old women are going to die or not. And he was dying, So, and he also was very, when I said to him, Julie's going to be on the second one, they didn't even blink. They, you know what I mean? It was like, yeah.
I thank him.
Nick Constantino. Hi, Nick. He says,
hey, Nicky.
He says Woka was on Showtime. Woka was on Showtime. Was perfect from start to finish. Was one of the best comedy specials ever, and long overdue. Thank you.
I had to blow him too, though. I blew him too.
And
he and I used to be roommates. You know that?
Wow.
No. We lived in my office back in the 80s, the early 80s. And I had an office when I got separated from my ex. We lived in my office together. We got locked out from non-payment of rent.
Wow.
I didn't pay the rent. He was giving it to me, but I was just.
Wow.
Anyway, we had to break into my office to get our stuff out of there. Yeah, show business. So.
Virginia Patrick says, "How about a show like Friends with older women?"
I want to do Golden Girls.
Yeah,
but
supposedly,
cast.
Yeah. Well, supposedly that's happening with Leifer and what is the woman's name? Cyndi Lauper and Jane Lynch. But I haven't heard anything since.
So Jane Lynch is going to be B. Arthur, which is the part I wanted.
Right. But we could do another one.
We could do that one, yeah. You still have my script from the Joanne and I wrote, so I say we make that.
I say we do all of it. It's just a matter, virtually. Okay, we have Joanne Adams Schick is asking, is special number 3 in the works? Joanne, from your mouth to God's ears. You know what I mean? If you've got any pull with the big guy up there, like I said, people have asked me. I think once Hollywood gets back, because nobody's in, as you know, nobody's in the offices. There's no networks doing anything. I mean, they're doing stuff, but they're not making any big decisions. I just read an article about the agencies, like the big agencies, like CAA and I'm forgetting all of them, but they're furloughing all of their.
Yeah, that is true. Well, what are you going to book them on? You can't book them on anything.
Yeah, you can't book anything. Oh, hold on. Joanne Usuri says, I'm probably saying your name wrong, Joanne. You could do a rehash of Golden Girls. Julia could be the slutty one. That's perfect.
Yes, I could easily. Are we still we still have people? We still have an audience?
We still have 70 people watching
us.
I know. And all of the comments will end up on, if they don't end up on our Facebook page, they'll end up somewhere. But I'll make sure you see all of them because everyone is just raving about you. Once again, nobody for me. Thanks, everybody. So glad that none of my fans came to watch her. They're too much.
But you're a producer. You're an impresario.
I know, but not one of my fucking friends. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the fucking love. Okay, so listen, we've already done 45 minutes.
All right, we got to get out.
And we got to get out of here. Everybody, hold on. Let me just change the banner again to this one again because that's the early bird special. Next week. We will be having the fabulous Leanne Lord, who has done our live show a billion times and is brilliant and funny. And Julia and I will be here every Wednesday at 4 p.m. I think next week we should have pancakes.
Oh, or donuts or chocolate. Edmund's chocolate donuts.
What we should do is when we ever get to see each other again, we should go to the diner where you always do the comedian's breakfast. And that's where we should do the show.
That'd be wonderful. Yeah, we could do that. I'm sure they'd let us.
Well, if we brought a camera crew in and paid them, I'm sure they'd let us.
No, I don't think we have to pay them. Do they know who we are?
Exactly. Do they know who we are?
International celebrities.
Yes. So thanks, everybody. Julia, if you want to do a shout out to anybody.
No, but thank you for everybody because I thank you all for just being so loyal friends and fans and whatnot and putting up with my stupidity. I love you all.
Yes, and thank you, everybody. We will be back with the early bird special comedy TV talk show next Wednesday at 4. Love you all, guys. Be safe out there. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.